Can I start by asking for your reaction to the fact that Diane Abbott appears to have been blocked from standing as a Labour candidate at this election?
I think the whole handling of the complaint about Diane because of a letter written to the Observer, more than a year ago, has been disgracefully handled. If there's something wrong with that, it doesn't take very long to make a decision. And I think we all understand. I think she was trying to say that black people are black all the time, so the racism is there all the time. And other people who've been subjected to racism, the Irish, gypsies, and so on, sometimes they're white. I mean, I don't know, but I think that's what she was trying to say. It was clumsy, and it's not good to have a hierarchy of racism, but it's hardly an enormous sin.
Given what so many MPs have said over the past 5 years, it's not right at the top there, is it?
Well, it's not anywhere because it's clumsy, but it's not. And the claim that it's anti-Semitic is disgraceful because Roma people died actually in a higher proportion as a population than Jewish people in the Holocaust, and they were included in the list. And of course, part of the history of Britain in Ireland was horrendous. I mean, in different periods in history. So this is nonsense, and I think it's been handled disgracefully, and whether you like or are charmed by Diane or not, she's got a great long history of service to the Labour Party. She's supported in her constituency. This is unforgivably disgraceful way of humiliating her and mistreating her.
Now, there are people, including on the NEC, who say that this is in fact itself a racist act, the way that she has been treated. She certainly has been hung out to dry in some respect. And we're only talking about it really because somebody has leaked this from the High Command. So she must be feeling quite embarrassed and humiliated by the way she's been treated.
I'm sure she does. I'm sure she's upset and hurt. I mean, she came into the House of Commons in 1987. She served right through all those years without any trouble, all the years of the Blair government and the Brown government without any trouble. And then there's this slightly clumsy letter, and they're bringing her career to an end in this nasty way. It's unforgivable. I personally think it's also unforgivable what they're doing to Jeremy Corbyn. He's not an anti-Semite either, and all he said was that the extent of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party had been exaggerated, and there are academic studies to that effect. But so what we've got is an authoritarianism, a lack of diversity of opinion, a party that doesn't allow debate and different ideas will kill itself and die. I think it's both disgraceful behaviour and it's very damaging to the future of the Labour Party.
Claire, however you define the left, you are a member of the left all the way through the Blair government. And I put it to you that, for quite a while, and on occasions, you had to bite your lip in terms of the greater good of having a Labour government doing things for your constituents you wanted. I'd be really interested in your view about those who now think that it's right to absolutely smash the Labour left, because if you do that, you'll gain more support, you'll gain more enthusiasm from the centre and indeed from people who voted Tory in 2019. Therefore, go after the left because you can't lose.
But I think you're crushing the whole spirit of the Labour Party. It's always been inspired by wanting to prevent war or end war, wanting to end poverty, for people to have decent housing. I'm just reading the book on Attlee, Dear Clem, at the moment. And he was from a privileged background, but when he went to the East End and saw the poverty, he was shocked. He joined the ILP. He said some very radical things. He fought in the First World War. And then he tried to work out how can you take those values into government without giving up on the radicalism. But the way they're crushing everybody, that isn't the question anymore. It's, will you toe the line? Will you say what it says in the focus group? Will you? And then we'll have a lot of zombies who aren't discussing ideas or trying to create a successful government. I think it's both wrong and bad and dangerous for the future.
I suppose what might be the uncomfortable truth is that they're doing all those things and they're stormingly popular around the country. You look at the polling and they're doing whatever they're doing, it seems to be working.
Well, I think what's working is that the government has horrified the country and people want rid of it. I mean, that's said over and over. It isn't the popularity of the Labour Party, it's the way of getting rid of a government that is reviled. And I share that view, but I think crushing everyone into. I mean, this is much, much worse than anything Blair did. And, New Labour was criticised for being a bit. Think of the Attlee government. He brought an Harry Bevan, who'd always been rebellious right through the war, criticising the war strategy. He brought him into the government to use his radicalism to create the health service and a better housing policy. That's how you get creative politics. It's Stalinist, it's authoritarian, it's ugly, it's unfair to Diane.
Given those words you've used, Claire, Stalinist, unfair, given what you said about Jeremy Corbyn and the left generally, will you be voting for Keir Starmer's Labour Party this time, and with enthusiasm?
I think everybody in the country should vote tactically. I think we must get rid of the government, and depending where you live, you should vote for the candidate that's most likely to displace the Tory. Saying that is not allowed if you're a Labour Party member. I'm not a Labour Party member anymore because you have to say vote Labour in all circumstances, in every place. I think that's foolish. I think people should vote for the candidate that's most likely to give us a better government than we have at the moment, and that wouldn't be hard.
All right. Taking it down one from the general, will Claire Short be voting Labour this time?
I live in Lambeth, so it's very safe Labour. I think I'll probably vote Green because Labour needs a shake, but I haven't decided, so we will see.